Out the roof, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
I love it. I love it. You know, I love that song because I think it's a great reminder of mindset. And that's what I really want to talk about today is talking about mindset. I see we've got a couple people on the live on Facebook, and welcome to those of you that are on the call. Today, I really want to dig into mindset. I had a great conversation yesterday with some of our ALC members, right? We were talking about a couple different things, and before I jump into mindset, I want to talk about some history that's happening today because I think that it's important to acknowledge kind of what's going on in the world. So yesterday, if you were following, regardless of what your political beliefs may be, regardless of what party you're affiliated with, history was made with the announcement of Kamala Harris running as Biden's VP candidate of choice as a woman and a Black woman in that position. And so we're seeing history being made in the world right now. And today, we actually have a regional ALC vote that is coming to pass on adjusting as a company our Y4C2Ts for the first time in the history of the company since its launch, right? Of the Y4C2Ts, part of the fabric of our culture as a company, to add equity. Right, to add equity as part of our Y4C2Ts and really creating an opportunity for inclusion and making sure that our associates in all capacities are represented. In addition, there's going to be a potential, it's going to vote right at Mega Camp, but an adjustment to our standing committees within our agent leadership council. So the ALC, that is essentially our board of directors as a company. Right, we choose as Keller Williams to be built by agents for agents, and that is really born through our agent leadership councils, right, that are comprised of agents that essentially volunteer their time and meet certain qualifications to be a voice for the other agents within our offices to take issues like this not only at a local level, right, but at a regional and then at Mega Camp at a national level to literally change Keller Williams policy procedure at a national level and initiatives that we do as a company. So I just wanted to touch on that because I know that vote is going to pass is coming down at a regional level today. There's going to be a meeting on that, and then it'll go to vote nationally at Mega Camp. And I want you guys to know everything that's happening in that foundation that we have of just continuing to grow and improve as a company. And with that, we also talked a lot about mindset yesterday, right? We talked a lot about mindset yesterday because we were talking about what's going on in the market. And I know yesterday when we did the weekly market update, I let you guys know that we were talking about a property that had about 21 offers and was at 120K above asking. And yesterday during our conversation, we found that there was a counter that came in 150K above asking. And so there's a lot of thoughts and feelings that can come up around that, right? There's a lot of thoughts and feelings that can come up around that. For those of us that maybe have been in the market and have gone through a shift before, it can make you a little nervous, right? Of oh my gosh, is this a repeat of what happened in 07, 08? And some questions came up around, was the property at price lower? And so it created this bidding war. And was this to be expected? If you're newer in the business and you're out there competing for your clients right now, then it could bring up the conversation of, oh my gosh, are my clients even able to compete in that sort of market, right? And so when we look at that, it's kind of like we get posed with these different questions, and we have to understand that there's a certain strategy towards getting your offer accepted in those type of moments. And sometimes it comes down to confidence and mindset, right? And knowing what our options are and knowing what some of those strategies are. And, a couple of the agents were saying, hey, you just got to be confident with it, right? You just got to move forward. And I acknowledge that an agent that has been in the business, 5, 10, 15 years might, and seen a lot, right? And been through a lot of transactions, might have a different level of confidence than somebody that is negotiating on their first transaction, right? And trying to work out their first transaction in a market that can be a little bit unpredictable. And yet we also want to keep an eye, and that's part of why we do the weekly market updates, on what is going on within the market right now. So I encourage you as agents to be on the Situation Room, right, with Brandy today. That's going to be taking place. Our weekly, she's doing a weekly mastermind every other week being topic based, and then every other week being the Situation Room, which is happening today. The reason that's important, right? The reason that's important is that it gives you the opportunity to bring those issues that are happening within your transactions, right? And bring them live to the table to discuss and figure out real solutions about the situations that you're facing, and get feedback from agents that have been there, done that. And Brandy put it really well when we were talking about this yesterday. She said, and essentially borrow that confidence, borrow that credibility of somebody that's been in a situation before. And then I want to remind you guys, right, is that no situation is ever the same. We're selling something that's pre-owned. Just to give you guys an example, right, we always want to say, hey, I want to wait till I know it all, right? And we don't do that. We can't wait till we know it all, because just to give you an example, even for me in transactions that I've done in the past, right, my first transaction it was actually one of the easiest transactions that I've ever seen in my life. And it spoiled me because my next transaction, had $20K in foundation damage, and they were talking about having to lift the house, which at that time I didn't know was a possibility, right? As a newer agent in the business. We've had one that's come across the table where you had a pot, like a sinkhole under the property as big as my office, right? We've had issues where you've got transactions where you're dealing with evictions, or where you're dealing with all these different things that can come up during a transaction that we don't always inspect. And if we waited to know everything, we wouldn't be doing business, because what did we get faced with this year? A pandemic that has never happened, right? Through most of our real estate careers. And so we were faced with new issues that have come to pass. And that's why making sure that we can kind of borrow that experience from other individuals and hit the SOS button and call us your team that's here to help you. We will jump on the phone with you. We will talk, with you and coach you through how to talk with the other agents, and we will go to bat for you as well. So make sure you're looping in on that, and don't let those things discourage you. And with that, one of the things that's really important is this understanding of how do we control our mindset, right? How do we control our mindset? One of our agents brought up something really important and said, hey, we all have bad days, right? We all have bad days. And the difference is really looking at making sure that we are not letting one bad day or one bad moment perpetuate, how we choose to move forward in our business. Right? How we choose to move forward in our business. What are the actions that we're consistently taking to control our mindset, right? Have we created positive, what I would call positive anchor for us to help us to control our mindset? Now, what does that mean? What is an anchor? We talk about creating a bunker of where you do business, right? And in branding and in marketing, there are certain commercials that you'll see. So for example, you see a beer commercial, right? In a beer commercial, what do they show? They show parties and happiness, and they show the beach, and they've got really great music going on. And it's meant to get you into a high energy, right? It's meant to get you into a high energy mode. And then they flash the logo, right? And the next time when you're at the store and you see that logo, you have this high energy state, which inspires you to emotionally make a purchase, right? That's what's called anchoring. That happens in branding, but it also happens in our life, right? It also happens in our life. So as an example, in your home, when you go into your bedroom, are you somebody that your bedroom, if you're laying on your bed, right? We try to work in our bed, And it doesn't happen because we're anchored to what? To sleep in our bed, to relax in our bed, right? That's why it's very difficult for somebody to lay in bed and get to work and not end up drifting off or falling asleep, because we're anchored to a particular activity within that environment, right? Within an environment. So how are you creating the anchors that get you into your peak state, right? And peak energy and peak performance when you're looking at your business, right? What does that look like for you? And so I picked up yesterday, I restarted flipping through my books, because you guys know I love to keep my shift book, my one thing, my millionaire real estate agent. And I was rereading about the millionaire real estate agent energy plan, right? The energy plan. That's also, it's in all the books, right? It's by a different name each time, but it's essentially, what is the energy plan that we are consistently practicing in our life? And if you are not consistently practicing it right now, what will you do to implement this within your life moving forward so that you work at peak energy? So number one is meditate and or pray, right? It's about that spiritual energy. So whatever you might practice in your life, whether that's prayer, whether that's meditation, whether that's sitting in a moment of silence. If you read the Miracle Morning, right, it talks about that meditation, that aspect of just sitting in that silence and really being with ourselves, right? How are you replenishing your spiritual energy on a daily basis? How are you replenishing your spiritual energy on a daily basis? Number two, exercise and eat, right? Exercise and eat. It's physical energy, right? Physical energy. So we know that we are in most production and most productivity when our physical energy is high and we actually have that output of energy that we can give, right? So whether that's, what are you eating? They say you are what you eat, right? And what does that mean? It's the healthier food you're consuming actually helps your energy and keeps your energy high, where sometimes, when we eat a big meal, right, we get what? We get food coma, right? We eat a really big meal, we get that food coma, and it's because it all of a sudden our body is dealing with digestion and that energy is expended in other areas. And so we lose that sort of peak performance when we're getting into productivity mode. So are you eating and are you moving your body, right? Are you moving your body in some way, shape, or form, right? So that you're replenishing your physical energy. Now that could be a number of things, right? It could be I get up in the morning and I do a couple jumping jacks. It could be, I take a brisk walk, right? Whatever that might be for you. For some of you, it might be more intense, right? I hit the gym, I go for a run, right? Whatever that is for you. What do you have in practice right now that helps you replenish your physical energy? And if you don't have something yet, what will you put in practice, right? What will you put in practice? Number three, hug, kiss, and laugh, our emotional energy, right? Our emotional energy. Now I know we're in COVID, right? And for some of you that, live at home, you have your family with you, then hugging and kissing might still be a possibility, right? Because we have that emotional energy with our family, but at the very least, laughter, right? Laughter. If you live home alone, right? What does that look like? How are you really replenishing your emotional energy, or even talking to loved ones, right? Talking to loved ones. I'll give you an example. On my morning routine on Alexa, right? In addition to giving me my calendar, right? In addition to letting me know what's going on in the world and listening to a few news articles in the morning, right? Not everything, because we know that can diminish energy as well, right? But the most important, just kind of updates on what's going on in the world. I also have the Daily Show, right? I also have a little motivation with Gary Vaynerchuk. A couple different clips that play to get laughter going, right? To get laughter going in the morning, because we want to replenish that energy. For some people, that's, hey, I want to watch a motivational video, right? Whatever that might be, that's helping you to replenish your emotional energy. I know one of my practices is when I'm driving home, I like to call someone in my family, right? I've got a big family. I got a lot to choose from. So I rotate through but it gives me that opportunity to reconnect and replenish that emotional energy, right? That emotional energy. Number 4, plan and calendar. Plan and calendar, right? Our mental energy. So I want to dig into this one a little bit, right? Plan and calendar. A lot of times, especially if we've been in business for a while, we work off of muscle memory, right? We work off of muscle memory. Now, you guys know that every morning right now, right, we have scripts and role play happening at 8:30. So you guys wake up, jump on a Zoom with scripts and role play at 8:30. At 9 o'clock, we have our call, right? And then hopefully after this, you go into business mode, if not sooner, right? You go into your lead gen mode and all of those different things. And then what happens the rest of the day, right? What happens the rest of the day? What if you have a to-do list of things to do? Where does that go on your calendar, right? How does that adjust every day? Are you planning and calendaring your day so that the most important things get done, right? I always say if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist, right? If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Bold law. And I've found that to be true for me. In fact, I even have personal time calendared, because if not, I don't take the time, right, to do the things that I intend to do. I will end up, rescheduling or postponing something if I didn't have it on my calendar. If I know I need to return a call, I try to calendar that, right, so that I make sure that it gets done. So how are you planning and calendaring for your day? Now, there's 2 trains of thought around this, right? And this is where we get into GPS, the 411, is how am I calendaring my month? What are the most important things that I need to do this month? My most important accomplishments this month? What are the things I need to do this week, right? What are the things I need to do this week? And what are the things that must be done today in order to move the ball forward, right? In order to move the ball forward within your life, within your business, right? Slightly. So for example, if okay, I decided I'm going to master my listing presentation, right? Something that might need to be calendared is, do I have a listing presentation, and actually going and finding it, right? Customizing your presentation might need to be calendared. Practicing your presentation would need to be calendared, right? All of those different items. So it's not just kind of an open-ended activity, but it's, where does this exist on my calendar? Do I have it planned? I highly recommend doing one of 2 things, either waking up very early and making sure you set some time aside in the morning to plan your day, or doing it before you leave at the end of the day, or before you end your day if you're working at home, right? Before you end your business day, really looking at, hey, what are my biggest priorities, my big rocks for tomorrow, and where are they going to be on my calendar, right? Instead of just going by muscle memory. And number 5, business energy, lead generation, right? Lead generation. We cannot move our business forward if we do not continuously lead generate, right? We cannot move our business forward if we do not continuously lead generate. Now, the goal here with these 5 and what they preach in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent is that all of this is done before 11 a.m. every day. Before 11 a.m. every day, right? What is that going to look like for you? So how are you getting your fill of spiritual energy, your physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy, and your business energy, so that the rest of the day you can do everything else that needs to be done, right? All the other things that are on the to-do list, so that so long as you get those things done, your day is successful, right? Your day is successful. That if something came up and all of a sudden you needed to take the afternoon off, did you get the priorities out of the way? Did you get the most important things done within your business, right? And how do we practice this consistently, right? How do we practice this consistently so we can continue to exercise that mindset muscle and build that mindset muscle, right? So a lot to think on here, but I wanted to make sure to talk about that, because I think being able to really control our mindset is extremely important right now, right? And I talked about on the shift, when we've gone over shift before, is there are 3 types of people in this world. We got those that are perpetually positive and refuse to see what's happening in the world, right? And I'll know, right, I'm not one of those, because I think we have to see what's going on out in the world, and we have to make adjustments and pivot our business. You have those that are very negative, right? Those that are very negative, and it's the, hey, we're in doomsday, and what does this look like? And I don't even want to try, because, you know, it's not going to work. And we're not that either, right? We don't want to be that either. We want to be the third person, the one that sees what's happening in the world and is realistic, right? Hopes for the best and prepares for the worst, right? And doubles down on our activities and doubles down on making sure that we're controlling our energy and really going outside of our comfort zone to push ourselves, right? To push ourselves so that we can continuously increase our own productivity, our own level of performance, our own skill set, our ability to help, you know, our clients, but also to help our lives, right? I will tell you guys this, having a great morning routine makes your day better. And as each day is better, it's a domino effect, right? As each day gets better, then you have a great week, you have a great month. Even when some small thing happens, it allows us to acknowledge those challenges, those tribulations, and move forward from it and learn from it. Like muscle, it's like practicing muscle. When you go to the gym and you work out, it tears the little fibers in your muscle, which allows them to grow back even stronger. We have to do the same thing with our mindset, right? With our skill set, is we grow. And every time we get a challenge, right? A challenge, it helps to empower us to be better, so long as we continue to push through it, right? So long as we acknowledge and learn the lesson. With that, I do want to note, guys, starting Monday, right? You might have seen it on Instagram. We will have, led by Miss Claudia de Leon, a 5:30 a.m. accountability group, right? Accountability group, so that we can get our millionaire energy plan started, right? But also, what would be possible in your world, right, if we started our day earlier? What would be possible in our world if we use that time to look at what we're going to be accountable to, right, to really push ourselves, but also the hours that we gain after that? What would be possible if all of a sudden we had additional time to really look at planning our week, right? Additional time to get those little things that at the end of the day, we're like, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten through my to-do list done, right? They say that the average person wakes up between 6:30 and 7. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't come into this world to be average, right? And I believe that you guys all have capability to be above average, to step outside that comfort zone. And I know that it's a commitment, right? I know that it's a commitment. So we would absolutely love to have you on. And I'll be sending out a message on it so that you can email. This is open to guests. We actually have a couple guests that have already committed to being in the 5:30 accountability group as well. So we're really excited about that. But I just want you guys to pose that question to yourself as you contemplate it, right? Is what could be possible in your world? It's going to be Mondays right now, right? It'll be Mondays to get the week started for now. But of course, Bandy, if you want to wake up at 5:30 a.m. every day, right? That's a great habit to have. That's an absolutely great habit to have. I see Claudia just posted in the comments on the Facebook. She said, we are not average, we are outstanding, right? We are not average, we are outstanding. And I absolutely believe that, and I can't wait to see what is possible in your world, right? What's possible in your world when you push yourself out of that comfort zone, right? When you push yourself out of that comfort zone. And in the world of Zoom, right? In the world of Zoom, we're also not saying, hey, you have to be in the, you have to be here. So there's opportunity there, right? There's opportunity. I see Diego just said, see you 5:30 Monday. I love it, right? But I'm very excited with that, you guys. With that, again, just make sure you are setting your energy plan in place, right? Your energy plan. We have to refill our cup to be able to continue to pour into the cup of our clients, right? Our teams, our families, those that are around us, right? Those that are around us, we have to replenish our energy first, right? And your clients need you to have that energy, because we're in a world where they're needing your insight, right? They need your insight more than ever before, right? More than ever before. So with that, make it a great day, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Good morning.